Welcome back to Kaizen House. It's a new year, we've got a new set, super excited, and what better way to start this new year off with an episode, one of my favourite dishes, a Singaporean national dish. It's a Singaporean laksa. Now, I love laksa, and it's one of those dishes that is super warming and fills you up with all sorts of goodness. Anyway, to kick it off, we're going to just quickly do a prawn and chicken stock as the base. So the stock, the heart of the laksa. And then I've got a special treat for you later on. I might have a special guest with us, someone I admire very, very much. So you'll have to watch to find out who it is. So, kick it off. We've got some chicken carcasses. You can get these from the butchers. They do it for you, or get a whole chicken, joint it. I'm just going to put those in the oven and roast it. I think roasting them gives them a little bit more flavour than just putting them into a pan. And then I'll get a stock pot. And I got some beautiful, beautiful prawns from the fishmongers this morning. Now, it's really important, get them with the shell and the skin on. Sorry, we've got a child in the background making a lot of noise, so if you hear anything, that's him. Yes, Riley. Yes, try to film with the baby in the background. Nice and easy. So it's really important to get the shell on. You can see here all the lovely, lovely bits. We're just going to break the head off. This has got all the best flavour and everything. We're just going to plonk those in there like that. All the shell, get it in there. But save the prawns for poaching. Save the prawns for poaching later. There we go, see? Nice and easy. So I got a nice job of peeling quite a few prawns here. I want to get quite a nice intense prawn and chicken stock, so got quite a few. I think my family and our lovely guests are in for a special treat today. Now these are absolutely gorgeous prawns. I got them from get them from a local fish market. Don't get them from a supermarket. Buy local, buy fresh. Sometimes frozen is good. Time and place for the. I got someone at my feet here. Hello, darling. Hello. Hey. Now, if you don't want to get your hands messy, absolutely fine. You could just do a chicken stock, or you could ask your fishmonger see how nice they are to deshell them these for you and keep the shells for you. For me, I love the contrast and the richness of the seafood along with the meatiness and heart of the chicken broth. So this is sort of a winning combination for me. Really getting messy now. You can see I'm using a nice big stock pot here because I want to get enough liquid in there to make enough stock for the laksas, and then just want to let it bring to a boil and reduce, and just let it tick over for a few hours, really get a nice strong flavour from that prawn and that chicken there. And then we're going to make a laksa paste. So that's going to be a mixture of spices and fresh ingredients of glangao, lemongrass, garlic, chilli. A laksa is broken down into sort of 3-4 components. You've got the base, so the paste, but you also have the stock. These are essentially the heart of the laksa. And then we'll have the coconut broth that goes into there, as well as the garnishes. So this will be a mixture of whatever you want. That's a good thing about laksa. You can have it vegetarian, you can have it vegan, you could have it with just meat or prawns. It's basically a pick and mix soup of whatever you want in there. Our favourite particularly is the prawn chicken, some fish cakes, tofu, egg, hard-boiled egg though. I'm a bit of a sucker for hard-boiled egg when it comes to my noodle soups. And a nice garnish of coriander, bean sprouts, lots of bean sprouts, some lovely thick vermicelli noodles, and what else goes on the top of there? Some laksa leaves? Yeah? Some laksa leaves? Someone's grabbing at my apron right now. Do you guys have this problem at home when you're cooking? Right, last prawn. Yes, sweetie. I'll show you what I'm up to in a second. Let me just go wash my hands. Let's go wash our hands and fill this up with water. Right, so got the prawn shells in there. I'm going to fill it up with some water, bring it to a boil, let that simmer, and then once the chicken carcasses are nice and brown, they're going to go in there and infuse together. Darling, don't change that, don't touch that. Right, so we're going to leave this tick away for a few hours. See you later on with our special guest, where we're going to put together this laksa from the paste, the stock, coconut, the fillings, like I just said earlier, with the different components. And yeah, we'll have a nice conversation about our love of laksa. See you in a bit. Okay, so we've made the laksa broth. This the stock. This is the chicken and the prawn stock that we just sort of kept reducing down a little bit. So this has been going for a good few hours now, and yeah, it smells incredible. Probably have a look at that, all that prawn heads and brown chicken stock. Now I've got a special guest with me, someone who I admire very much and makes incredible laksa, best Malaysian food I think in London. It's Mandy from Sambal Shiok. So she's going to talk to us about why you love laksa.
Oh well, because
where do you start?
Well, yeah. So any, I think, Malaysian or Singaporean will hold laksa in, very, very dear, and
it's food,
next to the heart.
It's food for the soul,
yeah,
isn't it?
absolutely.
Soup for the soul. So I'm going to be making our family secret recipe, our family laksa for Mandy. No pressure. Don't know why I'm doing this to ourselves, but it's for the love laksa. It's for Valentine's, for the people you love. So we've actually got some laksa paste that we've made here. Like I say, family recipe, but you guys will get the family recipe on the website. We've got a mixture of galangal, Thai shallots, chili, dry shrimp, blackchan. Use blackchan. Yeah, which is a really pungent fermented shrimp paste. I don't have any here right now, but it's just kind of like a thick block. Really, really smelly.
Yeah, you don't want to open your windows in the summer when you fry it off. Bad times.
I think a good tip is I barbecue mine on the outside of the barbecue.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to be. You definitely don't want to be, unless you are really fond of the smell of fermented shrimp on your clothes and furniture for a long while. Yeah. So we spent and there's some lemongrass. Sorry, and some turmeric. We've got some fresh turmeric, but you can use ground as well. And you soak those ingredients. Correct me. Well,
no.
We soak those ingredients and then you blitz it all together and you get this lovely rich paste, which I'm going to fry off. And essentially, like I said before, the laksa comes in parts. So you have the base, you have a stock, and you've got your fillings and ingredients and the noodles. Good amount in there.
And the amazing thing about laksa is that there are just hundreds of different recipes, different family recipes,
so many,
different regional recipes.
So tell me, which ones do you do in your restaurant?
So my signature laksa is actually a Nyonya Peranakan laksa that I have a lot in Malacca. So it's a mixture of a curry laksa and an asam laksa.
Ooh.
So it's got the sourness, a slight sourness from the tamarind, but the main base is very rich with the coconut milk and shrimp paste.
It's really, really good.
And we also do a vegetarian version of that broth. And we've just started to introduce our Assam laksa, which is based in, it comes from Penang. So it uses a mackerel broth with lots of strong aromatics, galangal like here, lemongrass, tamarind skin. So that's really beautiful. That's every Wednesday.
Oh, so you heard it here. Every Wednesday you can find Sam laksa. I actually think we should probably go try it out after we've tried this, if we're not full on this laksa first.
You can, any Asian can have laksa all day, every day.
I think that's true. Breakfast, lunch or dinner. Right, so I just put a little bit of oil in there and for the paste. I'm just going to give it a good fry off. I don't want it too hot because I don't want to be burning or catching it. essentially I want to be releasing those aromats from the spices and the ingredients from the paste. I'm going to keep it moving. Might add a little splash of water so it doesn't stick too much. So I want to fry this for at least a good 5 minutes. But also while that's happening, we've got some vermicelli noodles. So what noodles do you use in Laksa?
Again,
There's
lots. So many different variations, and it just comes down to personal preference, right? So I think in Singapore you use a thick rice noodle, right?
Yes, so
more
I've
commonly.
got here, you can see, sort of vermicelli, but thicker than what you probably know vermicelli to be. Is quite fine, but we've got a slightly thicker one here, which I'm just going to blanch now. Thank you, Mandy.
And the sort of in Kuala Lumpur, where I'm from, we use sort of, it's quite common to see rice vermicelli, the really thin one, or the egg noodles, sort of in some mamak stalls or Malay stalls, and also a 50-50 mix, you know. So, and it's just as you wish. But with Assam Laksa, it's generally the thicker rice noodle, and in Malaysia, it's a quite a springy rice noodle. Quite hard to get here. So, you know, at the restaurant we just use a thick rice noodle that we use for our normal laksa.
I do love it actually, a mixture of noodles in my laksa, because I just like the texture of it.
This is the beauty of laksa, isn't it, really? It's the
Customizable.
Customizable, and all the different textures that are going on. I think generally Asians like to pick and mix and have different flavors and so textures in each mouthful, and laksa lends itself well to that.
So we'll just have a little half a tablespoon of the ground coriander. In there. Again, keep it moving. I don't want it to catch. I just want to release all those lovely aromats.
So what we do at the restaurant, I tell my team often, you're looking for the point where the oil is released. And that's once you know what you're looking for, it's sort of like when the little oil bubbles sort of start to separate from the paste, and it's sort of, if there's chili in the paste, you'll see the redness.
Yes,
that's what you need.
It's almost it's the opposite of like Western cooking, where you don't want it to split.
Yeah.
You want this to kind of, you release it, let that oil go, and let that go. I'm going to crush actually a lemongrass here. Put that in there as well. Those little bits.
And I'm just really privileged to be here today, because I'm just always fascinated to find out how other people do things.
Yes.
You know,
It's a little bit. It's looking into somebody else's kitchen, how they do.
Yeah,
there are so many ways of making
and
laksa.
I don't think there's a correct way of doing it. It's like, you know, as long as the end result is tasty, hey, you know,
more
all
oil
good.
in there. Just a little bit.
Yeah, we use quite a lot of oil
Because
with
we
ours.
don't want to catch on here.
That's smelling so great. Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, so I just put a little bit of hot water on top of those rice noodles, and that's just going to blanch that, and then what we'll do is we'll drain those, and they'll be ready to assemble the dish later. Just make sure they're all submerged in that hot water there. Just keep an eye on those. Let's set that aside there. Okay, I'm going to keep this moving. So when was your first memory of having laksa? How old were you?
Oh, gosh. I used to have curry laksa every single day for lunch at primary school in Malaysia. And you know, like in...
I got sponge and custard.
Like, because in Malaysia at the school canteen, you literally, it's just like a miniature hawker stall. There's different like stalls run by different people selling, you know, their various dishes, and mine was always the curry laksa, so you know, it's very close to my heart. I had it every day. So
school dinner ladies, take note. We need some laksa in the school canteens.
Yes.
Very healthy dish though. You can fill it with vegetables.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
at the restaurant we've got bean sprouts, green beans, So we can also add on aubergine, charred aubergine. We use the long, thin, sort of very nice purple ones because I find that they're a bit sweeter and the skin is thinner as well, which is nice. And yeah, so lots of protein, perfect for filling you up really.
So with what we're going to fill our laksa with is we've got these amazing prawns that we shelled earlier. I'm going to take the veins out because you definitely don't want those in. Basically what you call butterfly in the prawns, where you take the vein out. And those are going to go in last minute just to poach in the stock. We've also got a hard-boiled egg, so I'm a sucker for hard-boiled egg for my laksa. Fish cakes, so those who aren't familiar about fish cakes, it's like fish paste and made in the shape of a cake. A must ingredient for me in laksa is fried tofu puffs. They basically are like sponges as soon as they go into the laksa, and they soak up all that lovely soup and
flavour sponges.
Flavour sponge. Well, there we go. Perfectly put. Flavour sponges. And we're going to top it off with some bean sprouts and some shredded and ripped up laksa leaves.
The laksa leaves have many names: hot mint, Vietnamese coriander, and then in Malay, daun kasum. So yeah, lots of.
Just have a look here. This is what it looks like. So I found this in a couple of Oriental shops all over London. They smell delicious, actually. Very fragrant, very almost lemongrassy, but
very unique.
Very unique. I'd say like lemongrass, but it's just a very delicate flavour, which is again though pungent. It's just
we're all about pungent.
All about pungent. I mean, I could smell the black
pungent.
chan, this fermented shrimp paste coming off from here already. Right, so the paste is actually changing a really nice golden colour. I'm just keeping it moving there. Actually, man, if you want to take over and keep that moving, I'm going to butterfly.
And so the paste that you made is that's been at least 24 hours that's been made, right?
Yes.
So that's perfect because like any curry, you want it to settle and develop all the different spices to come together.
Yes.
At the restaurant, we do this cooking off process at least 24 hours before we actually want to put the soup together. So.
Wow, it is a labour of love, isn't it?
This is it. So if anyone ever offers to cook you a laksa, you know you're onto a winner. Keep that person in your life.
So you'll be coming around more often. Yeah. Although I put you to work.
That's all good. Looking good, I think.
Need more oil or anything?
Well, no, actually, so the oil is split, right? So this is perfect.
So I'm just running my knife down the back of the prawn, and you can see there's an intestine tract that you just kind of want to pull out. There you go. And on the other side. And this actually makes the prawn, when they cook, because you cut down the backs and the front of them, they actually fold nicely into like a little butterfly, is what we call by butterfly. Quite a few to go. I'll just do enough for what we need for this dish. How many prawns would you like?
One's fine with me. So for, like you, my favourite bit actually is the tofu puff.
Oh, I could eat those all day long. Even the tofu, any form of tofu really. I think it's a very ingrained staple diet for Asian diet.
But with laksa, the whole joy is generally in the broth because it is so flavourful in itself. So the toppings are nearly a bonus.
They are. And you go fishing through them, and then you get something at the end.
Ooh, surprise!
So essentially, you could do stocks. Could be anything. It could be just chicken, a vegan broth or vegetarian broth. What would you make for the vegetarian broth?
So like a just chuck a whole load of onions, spring onions, carrots even, or mooli or daikon if you have it. What else? Yeah, so ginger would be nice, garlic. Yeah, just a very traditional Chinese broth would be nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So we've got this stock from earlier, and you can see, there we go. So the paste has gone from this dry paste, well, dry wet mixed paste, and it's changed colour, it's gone golden, dark, and the oils have come out a little bit. You can see it's seeping with the oil. And we're going to add 750 mils of this prawns and chicken stock.
My mouth is just watering. It's just like,
And we'll give that a really good stir, getting all those little bits of the spice paste that's on the edge and the bottom. And what we're going to do is bring that to a boil for at least 5 minutes there before we add in anything else. Oh, I'm hungry too.
and in Penang, so one of the best laksas I've had, it's actually a white curry meat. So it's
the white curry.
phenomenal.
Yes. Is
so
this the one where they have the curry paste and the
on the
laksa
side,
one's paste,
yes.
so you can kind of mix it how you want?
Yeah, so you can totally control how spicy it is. But for me, I just whack the whole lot in.
So the white curry, it's probably one that's not very well known at all. Like a Sam Laksa is not very well known at all actually either.
Yeah.
I find that with everyone normally associates this as a quite a known laksa. This is one that the Nyonya one we make in Singapore. You can find this in lots of laksa stores. But Assam is, again, it's all got the different flavour profiles. Assam is special in its own right. So is the white curry meat one.
I think
You won't find that very often over here in London.
so that's why. So if we only do it on a Wednesday because I realise having offered it in the past, it's quite an acquired taste because it is so fishy and pungent, and you have to use mackerel, a strong oily fish, for the full flavour of the Assam Laksa. I got
it holds against the tamarind well.
Yeah, absolutely. I at the restaurant we do try to serve, be able to serve everyone, vegans, vegetarians, and I did once get a request to make a vegan Assam Laksa, which I sort of had to turn down because it wouldn't be the same.
It wouldn't be the same.
You need that, the strong fishiness.
Yeah, it is.
Unfortunately,
you do want to cater for all the different dietaries, but some things you just can't change.
But we do have the vegan curry laksa broth, which is great.
So essentially that'd be like the chilies, the lemongrass,
just minus the
garlic,
shrimp.
minus the shrimp,
and we add in a couple of secret.
Yeah,
we add in a couple of secret ingredients to add that umami for the vegan broth.
Ooh, I wonder what that is. So for me, I love a hard-boiled egg in laksa. I think it's quite. I just think it gives that extra richness. You find that boiled eggs in a lot of noodle dishes, don't you?
Well, it's just the easiest protein, I think, to put into a soup.
I always used to fight over getting that egg yolk.
And then when it mixes in with the soup, just extra creaminess.
So you could do soft-boiled egg, or you could do a hard-boiled egg. I'm more of a
egg.
I just love having any type of egg in there. Next up, we're going to measure out 400 millilitres of coconut milk. Any brand will do. That's 400 ml, so that's alright. I need to measure it out. Save yourself a job.
I like that sort of recipe. Let's put it in a tin.
One tin will do. There aren't enough recipes like that. Actually, let this boil a little bit longer. You want to get all that paste into the lovely broth and stock that we made earlier. And why did I put lemongrass in there? Because we just love the flavour of crushed lemongrass.
So
it gives that fragrance that I think laksa is owed. So I crushed it with a knife. Don't put it in whole, because what you do when you crush this part, it releases all that fragrance and that basically the lemongrass flavour. So just back from the knife,
or pestle,
or anything heavy really, whatever you've got lying around. And what you do is fish that out later at the end. Right, I think that is almost ready.
And it's just one of those, you cannot turn down the laksa. When you're walking through a hawker centre and you pass the laksa stall, it's just because you have these massive vats of broth just simmering.
And the problem with me though is when I see a laksa, I'm like, right, I need to have my laksa bib because it is a messy dish because you're slurping, gulping as much as you can, as quickly as you can. Oh, nice yellow yolk from the eggs there. So with the fish cake, we're just going to slice those up. Now, if you're not a fan of fish, you can get meat, like a meat or chicken variation,
chicken,
or just
roast
small
pork,
tofu.
Anything.
This is something that I've grown up with when I was it's very nostalgic for me having this dish. It's, having fish cakes and fish balls, and it's all something that I don't think many people have over here, but texture-wise it's just very comforting, satisfying.
I think so the last time I was in Singapore, I saw laksas topped with yong tau fu, which is why not? Just excellent. Yong tau fu is like stuffed vegetables with pork and or prawn paste. So yeah, that blew my mind slightly. So that's an idea for the restaurant coming soon.
Oh, there we go. Heard it first. Just going to check on these noodles. So I've got the coconut in there. I'm just going to let that come to a boil. A little bit longer. I'm using the slightly thicker vermicelli. It takes a little bit more.
Are these the Vietnamese?
Good. Used to the new setup here. I'm not a big. You can make laksa over charcoal, can't you?
Yes, in clay pots.
The wood fire chef in me is just kicking herself that she can't do this over charcoal for you today, but.
Well, the beauty of Asia is because the weather is generally so nice all the time, you have wet kitchens and your indoor kitchen. The wet kitchen is usually outside, and it's great because you can fry stuff, you can do things on charcoal. Yes, and you don't have to worry about smells lingering in the home or sort of having to wash anything. So.
Sounds like my type of kitchen, that's for sure. Spent how many hours outside in a very wet English kitchen on the barbecues. Now, I actually like putting noodles into the bowl. I think you want a little bite to them, but relax. I hope you're hungry, Mandy.
I am very hungry. Always hungry for laksa. I have to say this is a very big serving.
It is, don't feel pressure to eat all. I was just so happy to have a guest over. It's also because you've got a very large bowl. Couldn't find anyone smaller. There we go. So we've got the fish cake puff in there. There's going to be some egg, and I'm going to take some of these laksa leaves, and then we're just going to quickly run our knives through them. Let's turn this off. But you finally chop your laksa leaves, or?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. I haven't got that much finesse.
As long as they're chopped, I think, because they're quite. These leaves are quite strong when eaten whole.
So you don't want to get like a large bit of it, do you? There we go.
And when they're chopped, that fragrance just comes at you.
So there's a little picture of this huge bowl of laksa, but there you go. I hope you enjoy, Mandy. Have a little taste of that. I'll get you a chopsticks and a spoon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Amazing.
Now you have to say good things about it.
It's already. Wait.
So, I say Laksa is very super customizable. If you want a little bit saltier, you can add a bit more salt or sugar. If you want it a little sweeter, like some people might.
That's got a great kick as
So
well.
it got a good kick to it. Well, that'd be with the chilies.
And all the laksa, there's just so much coming at you, and the flavor is just amazing because it's just a treasure trove of a dish.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much for coming over. Yes, the love of Laksa, because there is a lot of love that goes into Laksa. There is a lot of love for Laksa. You got the broth, takes hours. You've got the paste that you have to do days before to let it settle. So when you make it, like Mandy said, keep hold of that person for
Forever,
forever.
if possible.
And so Mandy's now spreading lots of love for making her laksas for everybody here in London, so lucky us. And yeah, let's go and have a sample of her laksa ourselves.